It's its hope that this announcement will lead to increased stability for the region.
And a question on Iran. You said that regarding Iran, negotiations continue to show progress. What progress have you made so far with Iran? And the next round of talks has been scheduled with Iran. Can you tell us what time or?
Nothing to preview on that front. What I can say is the president spoke to this just in his speech a few hours ago, talking about the time for choosing for them is right now. There is a path to prosperity for Iran. He wants to see the entire region be prosperous. He's also been clear that there are two options for Iran. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, but there are two options in regard to that, a good option and a bad option. So the president has spoken to this. He's made our priorities clear. He's made the goal clear, and I don't have anything additional to add beyond his comments there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. How does U.S. State Department view the Bangladesh interim government's ordinance banning all activities of the largest political party, Awami League, one, as I told you, that one of the largest political parties, effectively erasing its political identity and barring its from future election? I just wanted to mention here in previous briefing, Tammy stressed the importance of election and democracy in Bangladesh, especially inclusive election. Now they banned this political party from the activities. What is your concern on that?
So what I can say on this is that we are aware that the interim government has banned the Awami League from all political activities until a special tribunal for the party and its leaders concludes. We do not support any one political party in Bangladesh over another. We support a free and democratic process, as well as fair and transparent legal processes for all individuals. We urge all countries, including Bangladesh, to respect the freedoms of expression, peaceful assembly, and association for all.
And how does you, as a State Department, view the interim Bangladeshi government role in the fostering radical ideologies and enabling terrorism, following reports of the law advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul meeting with Lashkar-e-Taiba operative Harun Izhar and growing support of violence in Kashmir by political and religious leaders? They met in the ministry in Bangladesh.
So again, taking a step back, I'll reiterate what has been reiterated from this podium before. We value our partnership with the people of Bangladesh, spanning more than 50 years. We remain committed to deepening our partnership by working with the interim government. And I already commented on your other question there, but nothing further to add.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Two questions, one on the North Korea and then the second question about the Russia follows. As you know, that the North Korea launched the multiple ballistic missiles into the East Coast last week for the second time since the second term of the Trump administration. How do you view the fact that North Korea is receiving missile technology support from Russia, which is further escalating the threat to the Korean Peninsula?
So we've spoken on this in the past. I'll refer to those comments and take back your question for further details if we can get there.
The second question on Russia. Russia's Kremlin said that it will pay for the North Korean soldiers who died in Kursk during the war in Ukraine, and that Putin is preparing a new mission with the North Korean military. How will the United States react to the fact that North Korean troops will continue to be stationed in Russia and help Russia, even if Russia and Ukraine reach a ceasefire and war?
Well, as spokesperson Bruce has said from this podium, third countries like the DPRK that have perpetrated the Russia-Ukraine war bear responsibility. The DPRK's military deployment to Russia and any support provided by the Russian Federation, the DPRK, in return must end. Yes.
Thank you. A couple of questions from South Asia. During his calls with Pakistani Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, and the Army Chief, when Secretary made a call, did he receive any commitment or assurance from the Pakistani leadership that they will dismantle all the terrorist infrastructure and they will no longer support terrorist groups within the country?
I'm not going to talk about private diplomatic conversations. What I can say is reiterate what we've been saying for a couple days now, is that we welcome the ceasefire reached between India and Pakistan this weekend. And we commend both prime ministers for choosing the path of peace. The president truthed about this. He was very clear in terms of that. We also want to encourage direct communication between the parties. That is something we've also been clear about as well.
India has refused any U.S. effort to mediate between India and Pakistan. how hopeful you are that you will be able to bring them together in the same room for talks?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on that. What I can say is that we encourage direct communication. We have been clear on that. We continue to encourage that direct communication. The president has been clear on that. And the president, as I said, has also been clear in praising both prime ministers for choosing the path towards peace and the wisdom and fortitude that shows.
Has U.S. sent a team to Islamabad or Pakistan following the reports that there have been leaks of nuclear radiation in some of the secure Pakistani sites?
I have nothing to preview on that at this time.
I have one more question.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I think that's
Thank you,
enough.
Tommy. Thank you, Tommy, and beautiful style you have, by the way. I hope you continue to do that more often, these briefings. My question is about Pakistan welcomed President Trump efforts for bringing the ceasefire between Pakistan and India, and they believe that President Trump could win a Nobel Peace Prize if he were to bring peace between Pakistan and India on Kashmir issue. But Prime Minister Modi did not welcome this effort, and he's the same gentleman that was not allowed to come to the U.S. till 10 years ago. Does that disappoint this building at all, the attitude of Narendra Modi of not welcoming this peace deal?
Well, what we are happy to see is a ceasefire. That is what we are happy to see. That's where our focus remains. And we want to see the ceasefire be maintained. And we want to encourage direct communication. That is our focus here. Our focus is the ceasefire. Our focus is on encouraging direct communication. That's where our focus is going to remain. The president has spoken on this. And just to take the first part of your question, kind of focusing on a more global foreign policy front, talking about issues around the world, President Trump, is a peacemaker. He's a peacemaker. He values peace. He's also a deal maker. And he has shown that again and again and again in terms of both pursuing an America First agenda, but also pursuing peace and wanting to see peace and conflicts come to an end.
Thank you very much. One more question about, one more question.
Okay.
The drones which India used against Pakistan were Israeli-made drones. President Trump, one initiative that has been globally recognized and talked about is his Abraham Accord idea. Do you think this landing of Israeli drones in Pakistan would create hurdles in the president's vision, his whole thought about this Abraham Accord where he wants to bring these three religions close to each other? These Israeli drones will further complicate the relations between Pakistan and Israel or not?
Well, I'll reiterate what we are focused on here and happy to see as a ceasefire. We want to see direct communication between the parties. And when it comes to, again, solving conflicts that have existed in regions around the world, the president wants to solve those conflicts when he can. He's often said that he stands ready to aid in the pursuit of peace. He stands ready to help. And the president is a deal maker. He is a peacemaker. He has shown that again and again. And we're seeing the results of that from the past 100 days and even just this last week. So the president's a deal maker. He's a peacemaker, but nothing to comment further beyond that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. I want to follow up on Syria. President Trump, in addition to lifting the sanctions, also said that he wants to create a fresh start with Syria. I wonder, what does this mean for the U.S.-Syria relations going forward? Does this move indicate a broader policy shift towards full normalization? I also wonder, President Trump also said today that Secretary Rubio will meet Syrian Foreign Minister Al-Shaiban in Turkey later this week. What are your expectations from this meeting?
Look, the president spoke to this. He spoke to his reasoning. He spoke to the fact that he wants to see the entire region thrive. We want to see peace and prosperity. When it comes to Syrian interim authorities, from this podium and elsewhere, we've communicated with them some of the actions that they should take for peace and prosperity, and we hope that they do take those actions. But the president has spoken to this in that speech a few hours ago, saying that this is about making sure we have a region that can thrive, a region for long-term peace and prosperity. Yes?
Yeah, I want to follow up about the Secretary Rubio's trip as well to the Middle East. So the importance, if you can elaborate a little more, although you did some, about the relationship between the U.S. and the Middle East and how important this relationship will be also to succeed through those countries like Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, to the peace talk in between Gaza and Israel, but also to stop Iran from nuclear weapons.
The president has spoken to this issue as well just a few hours ago. And he was talking about the fact that we can have great partnership with the Middle East. And we have, in many ways, already pursuing those common interests. And we want to see those common interests continue. I mentioned at the top here the $600 billion investment commitment from Saudi Arabia that was announced today. So that's just one example of the many ways that we have partnership with the Middle East pursuing common interests. And the president has been clear, both from the time of the last administration, his first visit to the region, talking about the things that we want to see. So there's a lot of opportunities in the Middle East. And again, like I said earlier, this is about a golden age for America, but we also have an opportunity to see a golden age for the Middle East and the benefits that would bring both the American people and the people in the Middle East. Yes. Sorry, in front of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Two quick questions, if I may. The first on Secretary Rubio's trip to the Middle East and the second one in Latin America. In a recent past, Secretary Rubio said that the U.S. will not engage anymore with Russians and Ukrainians if both countries do not show real commitment with a permanent ceasefire. How do U.S. diplomacy describe this momentum when both sides are ready to meet in Turkey with alongside Secretary Rubio?
Well, as the president has said, this is a critical opportunity to try to achieve that ceasefire and try to achieve that long peace. The president has been clear he wants to see those direct talks happen. And I think it's also important to remember that the president has brought us closer to peace when it comes to this conflict than in the years preceding him taking office. And that's a great credit to his leadership. So he wants to see those direct talks happen. This is a critical opportunity to achieve that ceasefire and then potentially achieve that long peace, ultimately with the goal of ending this conflict, as has been said so many times by President Trump, so many times by spokesperson Bruce. We want to see this conflict come to an end. That's what we want to see.
On Latin America, very quickly, officials from the U.S. and Brazil, they convened here in Washington, D.C. yesterday to discuss disarmament, and according to the State Department, they discussed, for example, arms control with Russia and China. If you could address this matter.
Nothing further to preview than what we've already said on this, so I refer you to those comments. And with that, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.